What we're looking at here is the Falco Motor Kit. And this thing comes in a range of different options, and essentially what you're getting is that motor, or perhaps built into a wheel like we see here, and then you can actually pair it up with a multiple different choices of batteries. Of course, they have their own battery offering, either in a canister, sort of a mid-mount, which I appreciate, kind of balances things out, or you can get kind of a rear rack mount. And this system right here, we're looking at a 500 watt. All the Falco motors are direct drive or gearless, and what makes them kind of unique is they have 5 Hall sensors versus 3. So those sensors tell the computer when to send energy, and essentially they provide a little bit more torque, smooth things out a little bit, and because this is gearless, it also offers regenerative braking. So it's a pretty cool system. The founder of this company actually used to work for Wavecrest and Matra, which is, I believe, in France, but those two companies were really innovators, and still I think Matra is doing well, but Wavecrest in 2002, they had a bike. It was kind of ahead of its time. It was like a battery was like built into the front wheel, and then the motor was built into the rear wheel, and they were like solid, right? And so it was, I think that one kind of like declined a little bit, but this guy, started Falco, and these motors are just, very interesting, and kind of working on OEM, trying to get them onto pre-built bikes. But there's also the kit, which is what we're looking at here. Some of them were sold directly. I'm looking at this one at ElectricBikeReview in Laguna Beach, California. And you can order them off their website. They'll send them to you or build you a bike. And that's what this is right here. We're looking at a bike that a customer wanted to motorize for his girlfriend so they could kind of enjoy riding together. Again, I've got to say, this is a cool motor. Hard to find. I'd had to do some searching to get this and to do a demo on it, but I'm pretty impressed. There's more and more of these gearless, high torque offerings out there, and I love that it can do so much. Even if you're not generating that much electricity in regen mode, you're still saving your brakes a little bit, and it's just like, why not? It's kind of a cool feature to have. This is their lowest end motor, so the 500 watt motor, it offers 40 newton meters of torque. And then they've got another one, it offers 60 newton meters, and then the highest end one, that offers 80 newton meters of torque. The drawback, and the reason you might want to stick with like a 500 or the next step up, is the motor ends up weighing a little bit more, and you don't have as much horizontal space. Basically, the bigger motors are fatter, and then you don't have as much room to mount a cassette, and you end up having to do like a single speed in the rear, which kind of limits the bicycle for riding purposes, I think. Of course, it's up to you. It's just neat that they offer this, and again, it's a fairly sophisticated system. I mentioned before that you've got the motor, you've got the battery. Well, you also get to choose whether you want a twist throttle, whether you want torque sensing or pedal assist, and you can kind of mix and match. And I've mentioned before, pedal assist, like with a pedelec or crank sensor, you don't have to push to get that to go. It detects that you're moving and it kicks in. Versus a torque sensor, that's a little bit more responsive, and however hard you push down, that sort of activates the motor. Of course, the twist throttle is very simple. You twist it, it goes, right? So it's neat that they offer all of that. And then there's also like a cool LCD computer system that's wireless that they offer, and so that can kind of tie in. You don't need it. Again, there's nothing here except a twist throttle, but you can upgrade to the computer, and then that's what enables you to do pedal assist. And I think they even have another option with the computer at Electric Cycle where you can actually kind of unlock higher speeds for off-road use and stuff, because right now this is limited to 20 miles per hour twist throttle. That's the law, right, in the United States. But these motors, of course, go faster, and they offer a lot more power, so you could get going quite fast. And they do the same in pedal assist mode, with the whole speed pedelec movement that's happening. Bikes like the Specialized Turbo can get up to 26, 27 miles per hour. So I just think this is kind of a neat, sort of a fringe movement, but done really well from a guy who has a lot of experience in the industry. And I'm going to hop on and do a quick test ride. You can kind of listen for the motor. I'm on a pretty steep hill, actually. See the ocean down there. You can see the cars kind of slanted. And this thing's doing just fine. It's like carrying me up the hill. There we go. There's the twist throttle. There we go. kind of hear it going there. Really smooth, especially, again, we're climbing a pretty serious hill right here, and it's not making a whole lot of noise. And when you turn around, there we go, and I coast down this, that's when the regen mode kicks in, and you can still kind of hear the motor almost like an engine brake a little bit. Nice. It's quite a hill, having trouble stopping there. So I'm going to put on the wide angle lens and just show that perspective. So same thing as before. Woo! Just using that twist throttle, climbing up this hill. Turn here. Super quiet. Beautiful. So that's the Falco motor system, the kit, the battery, all that stuff. I've got some pictures back at the site. For the full written review and more info on this and other electric bikes and kits, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. I'll see you there. So of course the battery you choose is going to play, a pretty big role in how the Falco motor system performs. And the motor I was test riding on the bike, that was running off of a 36 volt 11.6 amp hour pack. Now, the cool thing about this kit is that it's open, and so depending on the battery that you pick, you're going to get more torque, more power. So just worth considering. And again, there's a lot of info back on the website. I'll have some links there for you.